The following presentation is controversial and may be offensive to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Radio from the heart of America now.
America is back, standing tall.
Ronald Reagan was the one who said that we are a shining city on a hill. We slid down the side of that hill.
I would like to take all the credit for this.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
And now, the Commander-in-Chief is back. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back, Gulf Coast. Welcome back, America. Boy, we've got a hot show for you today. You don't want to miss this. We're going to have the podcast up tomorrow, of course, because you're going to want to download it and pass it all over the world. In the meantime, welcome to the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio. Your host, Carl Gallups. Your world-famous producer, Mallory Bardwell, is in the house. We've got Mike Zullo, Investigator Mike Zullo with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Posse under Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He'll be coming up in a few moments. First, I want to lay some groundwork, and then he'll be on with us at least one full 30-minute segment, perhaps two, because we have a lot to talk about. Of course, I cannot imagine that anyone listening to this program right now does not know that Donald Trump came out today and at a news conference said President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period. And now we all want to get back to making America strong and great again. I watched the speech live. Let me just say a couple of words about that. First of all, I just posted an article to ppsimmons Facebook, Carl Gallups Facebook, and Freedom Friday Facebook titled, "Why I'm Not Worried About What Trump Said Today." I'm seriously not. I'm not trying to put his pretty little spin on it. I mean, you just read the article. I'm not going to sit here and read it to you over the radio, but in this 2-hour program, you're going to hear an awful lot of it come out in various ways. But I'm really not. I watched it live. Listen, let me just tell you a couple of things. First of all, Trump absolutely trolled the mainstream media today. In fact, where did I see this? I know where it was. Hold on. WND.com. Look at this. On the front page of WND.com, right under the headline banners, there's another headline with a picture that says, "Media outrage. We got played by Trump." And then the subtitle is, "TV networks ticked off because they were tricked into covering endorsements from military heroes." Let me tell you what. First of all, Donald Trump brilliantly played the media today. Now I know those of you who are with me on knowing and believing that Barack Obama certainly is not eligible to hold the Oval Office. You're probably, in some form of depression or, apoplectic over this because Trump went and said, to the whole world, he was born in the United States, period. Okay, but there's a long story behind that, folks. Just hang on. But the bottom line is, no, this is not the bottom line. This is one of the lines, is that right now, Trump absolutely devastated. He owned Hillary Clinton. And he owns the day's media coverage. And they're still talking about Trump. Still, right now. I mean, that's all you hear over and over and over. And they're playing clips of him saying President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period. Now, let me tell you what that does. First of all, Trump has not really alienated any of those that were going to vote for him who would be called so-called birthers. Okay? Now, technically, I'm not a birther. Technically. I'll explain that later. I don't think he's eligible to hold the office. I think there's some criminal activity going on with the birth certificate. But I am not a birther. I have never publicly declared that I believe he was born outside the country. Now, his publishers have. The ambassador of Kenya has, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I've reported on that. But the bottom line is, by Trump saying that, and they're playing it over and over, and every time they play it, they're giving him campaign advertising. And of the millions of people who believe that Obama is not or may not be eligible, he's not going to alienate very many of those. Very, very few of those are going to say, well, I'm not voting for Trump then. What are you going to do, vote for Clinton? So he's not worried about that. On the other hand, he could gain, literally he could gain millions of votes in the next couple of months as the media continues to play that clip and push it over and over and over again. Well, Donald Trump said, and what they don't realize is there are even Democrats that are now going to vote for him. Because I'm telling you, we've already been hearing from Democrats that can't stand Clinton, but yet they just couldn't quite do it for Trump, and there was this birther thing hanging over him. Donald Trump comes to the podium today and says, I'm not a birther. Nope, no more. It's over. It's done. Vote for me. And the media is obliging him and playing it over and 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 over. You want me to keep saying it? And over, you get it? And over again. And they're going to keep doing it. And he will continue to pick up votes. And he will probably win this thing in a landslide if Clinton stays in. If Clinton stays in. That's another whole topic. We'll talk about it. But folks, it was brilliant, and he practically had to say what he said today. I mean, and there's a reason that it's all being pushed here lately by the mainstream media and Hillary Clinton, but the bottom line is, it was a brilliant move, because what Trump did, he said, okay, I'm going to land in Washington, I'm going to make a speech, I'm going to let you know where I stand on the Obama birther issue. Well, I'm telling you, I had it on Fox, and I kept going back and forth, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, the ABC, NBC. I was just, pushing back and forth between the channels, and they were all just anxiously awaiting for Trump to come out and say, they didn't know what he was going to say. Everybody speculated. Some headlines even were already pre-reporting that he was not going to declare that Obama was born in the United States. Well, they were wrong. So he owned them. He face-palmed them as well. I'm telling you, this was brilliant. So in the meantime, he gets off the plane, they set up the speech, they come in, and he's got a bevy of military heroes that come forth and endorse him for free before the eyes of the world. And the media dared not break away from it lest they missed live what Trump was going to say about the birther issue. I'm telling you, folks, this was absolute, and the media gets it. It's just like the W&D headline I was just reading to you. And there are other headlines in other news sources that say the same thing. The media, it hit them about 2 hours later. Oh my gosh. We were played. Yes. I mean, within 5 minutes of the whole ordeal, I was already on the phone with some confidants of mine and some experts in all of this. And I told them that, and they agreed. I said, he just played the media. He owned them. And then Drudge came out with a headline not too long after that said, I think it said Trump pawned or owned or I forgot what the headline was, but basically agreeing with what I'm saying right now, that he owned them. And may I say to you, he still does. Because they're still playing the clip over and 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 over again. And I'm telling you, he's picking up votes every time. Now, some of you out there said, well, I'm telling you what, he lost my vote. Okay. So what does that mean? You're going to throw your vote away so that Hillary Clinton goes in? Listen, this thing is not over. Please hear me. Not by a long shot. I'll just give you a little hint of some things we're going to talk about later. But first of all, Trump doesn't know. He doesn't know what the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office knows. He doesn't. And that investigation is deep and dark and still ongoing. And that information will come out. And don't forget, Arpaio and Trump are friends. But first, you got to be in the White House. And then when you're in the White House, you can always evolve. Right? Didn't Obama stand before the world in 2008 and say, marriage is between a man and a woman. Marriage, I'm a Christian. My Christian faith tells me marriage is between a man and a woman. A year or two later, he says, well, you know what? I've evolved. I've changed my mind. Now let's make the whole nation gay. Why can't Trump evolve? You know what he did today? He took the birther issue off the table for the leftist. I'm telling you, folks, if I was Trump's campaign manager today, in light of all that's been going on, in light of everything that's been happening, everything that's been said, all the accusations that have been flying, I would have told Trump to say the same thing. Or something similar to it. Now, I know I've got people mad at me, right? You hypocrite. No, you got to get in the White House first. If he got up there today and said anything other than basically what he said, the media, the mainstream media, like it or not, they control the airwaves. From now until November, would have labeled him a lunatic, crazy conspiracy theory birther, and he would have been losing votes between now and November. Whereas right now, I promise you, he is gaining votes. And he will win the White House. And you say, yeah, but he still might not open up this investigation. He still might not. You're right. But there still are other options, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to bring on Mike Zulu in a little bit. But if he doesn't, I mean, what do we have now? Obama's certainly not going to open an investigation, and neither will the Justice Department or the FBI or Congress, not while Obama's ruling and reigning. Hillary Clinton certainly won't open it up. She's got her own problems of Benghazi and the FBI and email scandals and IRS scandals. She's not going to open it up. If there's anybody who could be swayed to open it up because he's good friends with the one person in the whole nation who actually conducted and is conducting a forensic, bona fide criminal investigation, the head of the fourth largest sheriff's office in the nation, if there's one person who might be influenced to evolve on this topic, is Donald Trump. I think he was brilliant doing what he had to do today. Do I wish he wasn't put in that position of having to do that? Yeah, I do. But he was. And it just is what it is. Now, Mallory, I'm going to get you to cue up this clip. We're going to play it, then we're going to go to break and we come back and talk about it. But here's the deal, folks. Hillary Clinton did start the birther movement. In fact, right now, if you'll go on PNN, you'll go on Freedom Friday, you'll see there's an article just posted. It's all over the internet right now. It says, new evidence, Clinton advisor Sidney Blumenthal spread the birther story. Breitbart's reporting on it. It's being picked up everywhere. We've got people in Hillary's staff now confessing that they were involved in spreading the birther story. Now, of course, they're trying to protect Hillary. Say, she didn't know. But that's not true. I heard Hillary with my own ears. I've told you this before. It's on tape. I've got it on PNN way back. We're probably going to take a break and come back and do it, Mallory. But the bottom line is, back when it happened in 2008, I was on the air and I told the story of coming from a motel room where I was getting ready to speak at a conference, and I saw Hillary Clinton. I'm almost positive she was on Fox. Whatever I said, it's on record, digital audio. I think it was Fox. I heard her come on the air back in 2008 when Obama was catching up to her saying, well, I've got fresh evidence that he's not eligible. He's not even eligible to be president. We've got the documents. I heard her say that. She says, I'm going to release them within the next 3 or 4 days. I immediately got on the phone and called the guy that was the head of the conference at which I was speaking. I told him, I said, turn on the news. You're not going to believe what Hillary Clinton just said. Other people saw it and heard it, and we talked about it. I came straight to the radio. We talked about it. It's on digital audio where I said that. I think it's on PNN now in one of our videos. I'll have to find it later. So I have evidence that goes all the way back there that I said that. I saw that. I heard her say it. So she was repeating probably what her staff was feeding her, sure. And, of course, she never came forward and said anything because right after that, Obama met with her. Next thing you know, she was offered Secretary of State deal. Folks, I'm telling you, it's all tied together. We've talked about that here on Freedom Friday for years. Of course she spread it. Now, yeah, let's take this break. We're going to take a break. Folks, hang on. I got 4 hours of material I've got to cram into 2 hours. And then we're going to bring on Mike Zulu. We've got so much to share with you. When you come back, I'm going to play a clip from MSNBC where they say Hillary Clinton started the whole thing. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Welcome back to Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups. Sit down, buckle up, and hang on.
All right, here we are. This is a fired-up show. Mallory, get ready to do number 4. Not quite yet, but here's the deal, folks. So, back in 2008, I went on the air and said, I heard her say it on the news live, and I called people, and they were watching it, and they heard it. Hillary Clinton said, I have information in my hands that I'm going to expose. And I'm almost sure she said within 4 days. But we can go back and listen to the audio to see what I reported. But let's say that's what she said. Within 4 days, I'm going to release this, and you will see that he is not even eligible. I hold the documents. Now, today, headlines, just published just a few moments ago. Breitbart. New evidence is emerging that Hillary Clinton's campaign was, in fact, responsible for spreading the original birther conspiracy in 2008, which is when I heard her say it, which alleged that Barack Obama was born in Kenya and therefore potentially ineligible for the presidency. And then listen to this. It goes on. It says here, let me see, just in the past couple of, in the last day, even though she's been furiously denying this, tweets have come forward from editor James Asher. James Asher is the editor of Injustice Watch and the Washington bureau chief for the McClatchy Company. Here's a tweet Hillary sent to Ed Asher yesterday. Says President Obama's successor, talking about the possibility if Trump goes in, cannot and will not be the man who led the racist birther movement. Period. See, that's why Obama said period, I guarantee you. President Obama's successor cannot and will not be the man who led the racist birther movement. Period. And then James Asher said, so why did your man, Sid Blumenthal, spread the Obama birther rumor to me in 2008, asking us to investigate it? Remember? Question mark. So all of this is coming out right now, just in the last few minutes. I'm telling you, see, why would I come to the airwaves in 2008 and again today and just lie to you, knowing I could be checked up on as a big fat liar? I wouldn't do that. Now, I've admitted to you, some of the details may be fuzzy. Did she say I'll release it in 4 days or 3 days? Did she use the word Kenya? I don't remember. But I remember in 2008, standing there watching the television. I was getting my final dress, getting ready to go to this conference, watching the news, watching her come on and say, I hold evidence to prove that he is not eligible. And I'm almost positive she said wasn't even born in the country. I could be wrong about that. But here in Breitbart are these tweets admitting that one of her top campaign advisors is the one that got the whole thing started during that time, and they were asking people to investigate it so she could have the information, and then I'm hearing her say it. Now, in the meantime, cue up number 4. I want you to listen to this brief clip. It's less than a minute from MSNBC. About a little less than a year ago, there's a roundtable discussion of 4 or 5 liberal talking heads discussing whether or not Hillary Clinton is the one who started the birther movement. Listen, this is MSNBC. Joe Scarborough is leading the discussion, but others are going to chime in. Listen to this.
For Hillary Clinton to come out and criticize anybody for spreading the rumors about Barack Obama, when it all started
on 60 Minutes,
when it all started with her and her campaign passing things around in the Democratic primary, Rich, this started with Hillary Clinton. And it was spread by the Clinton team.
We're just telling
back in 2000.
I don't recall that, but if you're telling me that was the case, I just don't recall.
John Heilemann?
It was the case.
It was the case. Thank you, John Heilemann.
Okay, so you heard the guy, John Heilemann, I think is his name. He came back and answered. There was one guy sitting there. I don't remember his name. He's an African-American guy. He said, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember it. And they're all sitting around the table saying, and this is on MSNBC, folks. This is not Fox News. And they're all sitting around the table saying, oh, yeah, we remember. We remember when she came out and said it, and her staff was saying it, and she was trumpeting it and repeating it. And that guy says, well, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. And then the other guy says, yes, he did say it. I mean, she did say it. I remember it. And the other guy said, I think that's Joe Scarborough, said, you remember it. Okay, thank you, John. You remember it. Yes, I remember it too. I saw it. And by the way, folks, if you'll go to freedomfriday.carlgallups at Facebook, we've got a plethora of material. I mean, I've got the transcripts from a Chris Matthews interview back in 2007, where he says that Hillary was spreading the rumor that Obama was born in Indonesia. Chris Matthews says that. says that Hillary was saying that in 2007, December of 2007. You can see the transcripts. By the way, those transcripts are still on the web. You have to know how to get to them, and you have to dig deep to find that statement. But I've got it all. I've made it easy for you. It's at freedomfriday.carlgallups or on the PNN network, PNN Facebook. See, if you're part of the PNN family, you've got this information. See? But if you're not, or if you don't listen to Freedom Friday, think of what you're missing out on. Right now, the media is continually playing the clip of Trump saying this as though they've won a great victory, when as a matter of fact, they're gaining Trump millions of votes. They're going to put him in the White House, and he can always evolve later. If you'll notice, Trump did not say, I believe he was born in Hawaii. He did not say that. He said Obama was born in America. Okay, period. Now let's get on. I mean, born in America, really? What hospital says that? Really? What governor says that? Really? What state claims that officially with monuments and plaques and affidavits signed by Department of Health and hospitals? The answer is none, 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 and none. Trump knows that. That's why he didn't name a state. He didn't name a hospital. Folks, there's a whole lot more to this. We're going to bring up Mike Zullo in just a few moments after this time out. Aren't you glad you've tuned in? This is going to be a hot rockin' show. We've got a lot more to say, and we've got some more commentators and people that will weigh in a few moments. But right now, we're going to have Mike Zullo on for a good long while. So don't you go anywhere. In the meantime, you're listening Freedom Friday. Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio. You're in the house. And when we come back, we're going to dive right in with Mike Zullo. He's already on the line, rearing and waiting to go. Go to carlgallups.com tomorrow and download the podcast of the show.